Nobody knows what's around the corner. Life can be taken away on the turn of a sixpence. But as long as there are people who are prepared to come out of their door every morning and try and help other people, you have got to feel hope.
Hello, Queens. Oh, Jesus.
Adult anatomical. Been stabbed twice in the chest.
Fall from parachute, hard landing.
Collapse on a football pitch.
Charge to 360. Excellent.
Thank you very much. Please call again.
Queen's Medical Centre, Nottingham.
Are you up, Ducker?
Another day in paradise?
One of the busiest A&E departments in Europe.
Wow!
That, I don't think, is survivable.
Have we got a new one coming in?
3 minutes.
There is no room at the inn.
Do you want anything to drink? Cup of tea? This place is awesome.
A place where life,
You're a happy band of people here.
love,
Love your kids.
and loss
Can't feel anything.
unfold every single day.
Working in A&E, you see people in those worst moments of their life.
My baby boy, I can't lose my baby boy.
But there are always stars in the black sky.
Oh, my darling.
It makes you realise how important life is, and we should hang on to that with both hands.
Have you?
Filmed across one 24-hour period, these are the stories of a nation and its health service.
Thank you for everything.
Oh.
Suddenly, a lot of the things that you thought mattered doesn't matter.
It's okay.
But you're there for me and I'm there for you. And that's a strong bond.
I'm loving you, man.
I'm loving you too.
Bless you.
Bless you.
No, we're not able to do appointments over the phone or anything. It's just a case of turning up and getting booked in and then waiting to be seen. Thank you, bye-bye. Hi, is there any chance I could book an appointment and I come down later? I don't think so. Oh. Hello, Queens.
Morning.
Good morning.
Leading the team in resus is consultant Craig.
Craig,
Hi.
28-year-old male with chest pain.
Yeah, I should come here.
Come here.
Yeah.
Resus is where we manage our most seriously ill and injured patients.
Hassan got a cardiac arrest coming in. It's not sounding particularly promising, so he's been down for about an hour now.
It can be a really challenging place to work. Sometimes it can be difficult emotionally.
That sounds pretty irretrievable. Okay, we'll stand down then. Yeah, you straight to the mortuary. Yeah.
It can really test you as a person as well as a doctor.
I said to the players, do you want a small training session? Just a light session to work on a bit of technique. Our club plays against men. Kai was 18 at the time, so it's a real physical challenge, and Kai rose to that challenge and he was awesome. Man of the match in 2 games. The ball had been cleared up the field, and then Kai collapsed. His hands were curled up, his eyes were rolling back. His breathing was just non-existent, like a croak. His body was tense. Very difficult sight. I worked out that it was something wrong with his breathing. Started to perform CPR. As soon as he got in the ambulance, I didn't expect to ever see him again.
My phone rang and Wes says, Kai's collapsed, he's not well. He said we started chest compression and we got a defib to him. And once I heard that word defib, I screamed.
Hello, Queen's Resus. Post-cardiac arrest? How old are they? I got cardiac arrest coming in. 18,
So he's collapsed playing football.
When they called it through, they said he'd arrested again.
He's arrested again, so we're going to need some bodies in here.
The patient in cardiac arrest is essentially dead.
Janice on the defib.
I can do CPR if you want me
Asta
to.
on CPR.
The patient's heart has stopped. They are not getting the blood and oxygen they need to their brain.
Plan will be, if the patient comes in cardiac arrest, we'll get the pads on, CPR at all times until we're ready for a rhythm check.
Unless you can get that heart beating again, and beating again quickly, then the patient is going to die. It is the most time-critical situation that we face.
Okay guys, we'll go straight across onto our trolley if that's okay.
Every second counts.
Everyone got a piece? Yeah. 3. 1, 2, 3.
So let's transfer over onto our defib. Guys, whenever you are ready, give us the handover.
This is Kai, 18-year-old young gentleman collapsed on a football pitch. When we got to him, his instructors were doing good CPR. He's had 2 adrenaline. He's had 6 shocks, all at 360.
Can I pause you for 1 second? When's he next due for a rhythm check, guys?
Now, let's do a rhythm check now.
Which defib are we on? Okay,
Whoa.
VF. Back on the chest, please, guys. Let's charge that to 360.
1.
1 second, just... Have we got a pulse? There's no pulse. Okay, back on. Okay, let's go adrenaline and amiodarone, please, guys.
Patients who have a cardiac arrest out of hospital, less than 10% of patients will survive. It's a small number.
Initial rhythm when you got there was VF?
Yeah, we shocked him once.
Yep.
Then we shocked him a second time. We lost him on the way in again. So we shocked him again, and then we're here now.
Charge to 360, please. No pulse.
My baby boy, I can't lose my baby boy. Sis, it's my baby boy.
Be on the phone to Sis.
It's my baby boy.
Be on the phone to.
It's Denise.
No, I can't. No,
Kai suffered a cardiac arrest during a football training session.
We shocked him a second time. He got a ROSC.
Yeah.
He stayed with us for about 3 or 4 minutes. We were just...
Pulse check, guys. Still VF. Okay, back on the chest. Charge to 360, please.
The team in resus have been trying to restart his heart for the past 5 minutes.
No pulse. Okay, back on. pH is 6.98, CO2 of 8.4, bicarb 10.8.
When you're making decisions about stopping CPR, essentially pronouncing a patient's death, that's the most serious thing that we can do as medical professionals. We want to give the patient every chance possible.
Volume, let's squeeze that in as fast as we can.
2 adrenaline as we're doing normally.
Pulse check. Okay, does he have a pulse?
Yes, he's got a pulse.
Pulse,
Yes,
excellent.
he's got a pulse.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's move to post-resus care then.
That's fantastic that the patient's heart has started to beat on its own again, but it doesn't mean that we're out the woods yet. It's really just the first step. We still need to try and figure out why the patient was in cardiac arrest.
Hello, Sis, come on, stand up. Stand up, Sis. Come on, it'll be all right.
Kai's always been this healthy boy. So to know that my son is going in hospital because his heart stopped, I knew that my child's life is in danger.
Make me before
I didn't want him to be on his own.
It'll be all right. We're not. I'll have to stop you. I'm going to bring Mum in. She needs to see him.
I think it's incredibly important to communicate with patients' families as quickly as you can.
Okay.
Every minute they are in a room being kept away, that's torture for them. So we need to be mindful of that. We need to support them as best we can.
Do me a favour, just take a deep breath before we walk in. If you need to grab my hand or anything, I will do it for you, yeah?
I got this. It's good. You
He's
guys
just
are
here.
doing what you-
Got a pulse back now. Luckily, his heart's not stopped again. So the anaesthetic doctors have taken over his breathing, he's on a ventilator.
Okay.
Next step now is just going to try and work out why this has happened,
Okay.
yeah?
Okay. No, he's a strong boy. You can do this. Come on, son. Please.
Shall we
You
get...
can do this.
Do you want to stay?
Can I please? Hi, it's Mum.
Brett, will you grab me a chair?
You're going to be fine. All right, son.
It doesn't matter how old they are. They can be 20, 30 years old. They're always going to be your baby.
What's the problem today?
I'm not really that sporty. I wish I was.
There's a sport out there for everyone. I like basketball.
You know a couple of lads that play?
Yeah. And they're all very tall.
They are rather tall, yeah.
My tactic was go under them, through the legs. The worst one is when I tried to go under them and then didn't get far enough, was kind of stuck halfway, so tried getting up and they ended up riding me like a donkey.
Oh, brilliant. I bet you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I think I would.
Do I have permission to rename you in a Facebook messenger to Clumsy Bones?
23-year-old Phoebe is in minors with fellow student and boyfriend Matt after falling over in a library.
I love those two messages back to back.
Yeah. That's what's going on in my head.
Literally a week and a half into the relationship, the first text message that I ever sent to him. I've had an accident at uni, I hit my head. Can you meet me at uni?
Immediately was thinking, what on earth has she done? I'm terrified. And then I just turned up and it was just a little cut on the nose and I'm thinking, what have I got myself into here?
So we first met in first year of university. We were going to the same church. Everyone else around us was like asking, like, are you sure nothing's going on there? And I was like, no, of course not, it's just Matt. And then it was like, slowly like, hang on, we're getting a lot flirtier in how we talk. And yeah, and that's when I was like, hang on, this isn't the same as what it was before.
I mean, if you want, when you come back from getting the glue done, I can just look at you and go, oh, you're so beautiful. I was the one to ask her out.
Did Jonathan say which games he's going to bring?
He did not. I think we're playing a game or doing a puzzle. And I basically just went, I'm going to go for it and hope that this works. Yeah, Jonathan messaged me after Saturday to say that he was happy for us.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Kind of cuddled up a bit more than we normally would, and then like he went to hold my hand. Very gentlemanly.
Slowly moved my hand into hers, went in for a kiss, and then asked if I basically said that I wanted to take this further. How was it I told my mum before you told yours? And she said yes.
Phoebe. Hiya. Take a seat. I'm Emily, I'm one of the nurse practitioners.
Yep.
Right, what has happened to you?
I tripped over a chair and hit my head on the desk.
Okay.
So it's mostly the nose region.
I like to think I'm a romantic, but maybe I'm not always the best at showing it. I think it's the academic in me. A lot of people like to bring up the fact that I know the first 100 digits of pi.
Any headaches? No.
3.141593535897932384.
Where were you? Were you at work? I was at uni, so I was on campus.
49445923078164062862089.
Right, so we can have a look. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I've been told there will be a black eye.
Yeah.
I don't think she lets on that she's impressed by it. I always just do it, and I think it's just her usual reaction of, yeah, okay.
We don't share the same love of
I mean, you're a little bit swollen where your wound is.
So I've suspected that my nose has been broken before.
Okay.
There's been a bit of a bump there for a long time.
Okay. I think I'm gonna just send you for a quick facial x-ray.
Okay.
Right, if you want to follow me, I'll show you where x-ray is.
High cholesterol, hypertension, prostate problems ongoing.
Hold on, I can only type so fast. Hello, Queens. Right, head-on collision. Do you know the speed? So 80. Combined speed, yeah? Cheers, bye. Head-on collision, one's been in a van, one's been in a car. Combined speed of 80 miles an hour.
A 30-year-old man is being rushed to Queen's Medical Centre following a road traffic accident.
I'd been travelling for work and I was away. When I rang my wife in the evening, she said, Tom has been in a serious accident. You think the worst. You go from one day where we're sat and all enjoying a Sunday dinner, and the next day, it's the whole world changes.
What's our ETA here, do we know?
If it's a head-on collision, then you want to know whether they went down and under, in which case you're talking about lower leg injuries.
He's got open tib fib fractures.
An open fracture or a compound fracture is where there's a break in the skin over the fracture, and that also introduces the possibility of infection.
What's the passenger?
Number 3. Nice and slow.
1, 2, 3.
We'll get a handover first, mate. Yeah.
He was the passenger. Driver was coming around a bend about 40 miles per hour. The back end slid out. He tried to re-ride it and then ended up on the other side of the road head on. He had a seatbelt on, opened the door and fell out pretty much because of his leg. You could see the blood. He does have an open fracture. He's saying it's going a little bit numb.
Okay, thanks very much.
G, are you doing primary?
Thomas, my name's G. Just going to give you a little one-saver. GCS is 15, trachea, central. Where's your pain worse?
Right in the leg.
Yeah. We've got time just now, Olivia, if we want to have a look at that. What are you going to want to do?
Pull the skin around from that edge because it's compressing. Yeah. Saline soak gauze, and then we'll put a bologna bag slab on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So Tom, we're going to give you some medication which is going to be good pain relief, strong pain relief, because we're going to do a painful procedure on the ankle, okay, so that we can sort out the skin and the soft tissue overlying your broken bone.
Yeah.
Craig, I'm happy to do this if you want.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, grand.
The longer the ankle is out of joint, the more potential there is for damage to the blood vessels and nerves around that ankle. The worst case scenario is the patient ending up with a bologna amputation and losing the foot.
Is this for fracture? Yep, so you need to head down that corridor behind you and take the first left.
Hospitals are so interesting. Oh, there's a baby.
I'd happily have a child, I just don't want to give birth to it.
Seems like a lot of effort.
Yeah, I don't really want to tear my vagina.
Hello, sir. I'm just going to put an extra line in for you.
I'm from a little village near Glasgow. Typical Lanarkshire kind of working class village. I lived with my parents and my sister, you know, close family. My granny was Agnes. She was a fantastic lady. We used to go to her house kind of after school every day.
Thanks.
Her family were from Lithuania, so she was always there with, you know, a bowl of sauerkraut after school or a beetroot sandwich. So she was fantastic.
Sir, there's going to be a sharp scratch coming up here, sir, okay?
When she became unwell, she had breast cancer.
I get a syringe.
And had chemotherapy, and unfortunately the outcome wasn't good. She passed away.
Okay.
That one's out as well.
Yeah. Yes.
I remember not so much exactly what the doctors and nurses were doing, but just how they were with my gran and how grateful she was for their care. And I think that struck a particular chord. That strengthened my desire to do something similar with, you know, with my life and my career.
He had 300 of amio intra-arrest, didn't he? Fine. So you want the 900 infusion over 24 hours.
18-year-old Kai is being treated after suffering a cardiac arrest playing football.
Matt, I've got a lad who's collapsed playing football, was in VF, cardiac arrest. He is currently intubated.
Doctors have restarted his heart, and he's been put into an induced coma.
He's having a femoral line go in right now. Obviously, would appreciate you guys getting involved in terms of his critical care. Thanks very much. Bye. So we'll get the echo and just have a look.
One thing that's quite useful in a cardiac arrest is to use a bedside ultrasound to actually physically look at the heart.
It's not got great mitral valve movement there. His LV's not doing much because that mitral valve isn't moving brilliantly. Do you mind ordering the CT as well?
Well, the CT scan can be very useful in looking for underlying causes of the cardiac arrest. Looking in the head to look and see if there's any evidence of a stroke. Or we may be doing a CT scan of the chest to see if there's been any evidence of a large blood clot in the lung.
Everyone ready?
Yep.
Ready, steady, slide.
Kai was just that perfect little boy. He would eat, sleep, breathe football. Kai joined Notts County when he was about 10 years old, so he was under 11s. I was so proud, so proud. Being a parent, you want to prepare them because trying to become a professional footballer, it's basically a business, it's a job, you have to take it seriously. I know he was really pleased with himself, but also I knew he was quite nervous.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
With football, our lives changed a lot. You know that there's gonna be a lot of strict rules, you know, you're gonna have to do as you're told. You're gonna have to train a lot more, you have to get your fitness level up. You've got to go to training, you're at training till hours of the night, and then you come home, you've got to get ready for school. It's a lot. He'd missed having time to spend with his mates. He lost that time because I've got to go football tonight.
Thanks so much.
Kids go through growth spurts, and unfortunately, that's when he started to have his growth spurt. He was having hip problems, calf problems. As he'd get rid of one injury, the other one would be a problem. It was a really hard time for him because he knew that he lost a lot of game time. I believe he did realise that going through his injuries for so long that it was lessening his chances of becoming professional. He was 16 when he got released from Notts County. I'd say he was really upset. And we just spoke about, if you're being released, it's fine, it's not an issue. There's plenty of football teams that you can still play. You've always got other options.
Hello, my love. Lorenda, my name's Craig. I'm one of the emergency consultants, part of the team that's been looking after Kai. So, Lorenda, what we can tell, looking at his heart, is that the left side of the heart, which is the main chamber for pumping blood around the body, the left ventricle, yeah, is not pumping very strongly. Now, what we don't know is if that's because his heart has stopped and it's been starved of oxygen for a while, or if actually that's the underlying problem, and he has something called a cardiomyopathy. Okay, which is a problem with the heart muscle, which has led to this happening. Okay. At the minute, everything that we're doing here is supporting him. So he's got the breathing tube in. We're giving him as much oxygen as we can. We're breathing for him. And we're giving him medicines to try and strengthen his heart and keep his blood pressure up so that we get blood going to all of his vital organs. Okay? This is only the start of what's going to be a very long journey of hopefully recovery for Kai. At the minute, we're still not exactly sure why this has happened. For around about half an hour or so, he didn't have a pulse.
And what's that when it comes to his starvation of oxygen?
Well, I can't really tell the answer to that until a couple of days down the line, because people can make amazing recoveries, and sometimes it's the other way.
Thank you so much.
That's okay.
We're all human, and when you see people suffering, you know, that has an effect on you.
Son, it's Mum. You're going to be fine.
Maybe seeing children, young people, and the effect that has on families, on parents, these can be really upsetting.
Come here, Mum. See, Grandma's here now. Mum, you can touch him. You can talk to him.
We're all there for you, Kai, all right? We're all there for you.
You need to be able to see and know what you're doing, whether the outcome is good or bad. They need to know in their own heart that everything possible was done for their child.
Hi Phoebe, my name's Dash. I'm going to do your x-ray today, all right? Just of your face, is that correct?
Phoebe is having an X-ray after tripping in a library and injuring her nose.
The main difficulty I had at university was being away from my family.
And what I want to get you to do is to pop your chin up on here, okay?
I was so ready to go and have my own life. I just wasn't quite ready to not see like my parents every day. I wasn't the most exciting student, I'll be honest. I didn't really do the nightlife thing. I had a lot of anxiety, but like it actually weirdly manifested as like actual physical illness at some points. Like when it got really bad, I just really invested myself in things like church and like the Christian Union. When I was at church and someone introduced me to Matt, that was it.
You can shuffle back a bit if you want, lovely. Coolio, that's fine.
And then kind of throughout the next year, that's kind of when we started to become closer friends. I know I couldn't marry someone who wasn't a Christian, so I wouldn't even consider dating someone who wasn't a Christian because there's just not really any point because I know it can't go anywhere. Yeah, so I never really intended to ever date anyone who wasn't a Christian.
Phoebe, do you want to come back in?
See you later.
Your x-ray looks fine,
Okay,
so that's
thanks.
good. So it's just the wound, really. Okay. Yeah. So lovely Iona's going to do your wound for us. Are you happy to drop your mask down while we do this? Is that all right? Just because it'll make
it a lot easier.
I see my future with Phoebe as just as getting married, living together, having kids, all the usual stuff.
I feel like I've just given you a nose job. Like you just lifted your nose a little bit. People pay thousands for this.
For me and Matt, I hope that it will lead to a marriage and a life and family, kids, pets.
Oh,
you know
amazing.
What? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. All right. Yes.
I might have to up my romantic game, but I don't think I'm too bad. She might say otherwise, but I think I'm okay.
Oh, actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. No offence.
I would say it is love.
Yes, I would say it is. Yeah, definitely love.
So Thomas, I'm Bob. I'm one of the major trauma consultants, but I've got an anaesthetic background, so I'm going to sedate you for this, so you won't feel it, all right? Or remember it.
Tom is in resus after fracturing his ankle as a passenger in a head-on car collision.
Right, are we all ready? I'll give you a cocktail of stuff. You might feel slightly vague in a second.
Yeah.
Starting feeling a bit vague?
The lights have got brighter. That's a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but if you see a tunnel, don't go towards the light. Ketamine doesn't work like other anaesthetic drugs work. It's what's known as a dissociative drug, which is why people shouldn't take it in discos, but they do. You might make a bit of a noise, but you won't remember it. At moderate doses, it's quite good for sedation, and then at higher doses, you can use it as a conventional anaesthetic. What you want them to do is just lie quietly and allow the procedure to happen and not be too aware of what's going on.
Slow back down, it's okay.
Lie down.
Slow back down for me.
Well done.
You're okay, Thomas? Let's hold on for a second because he's still not quite. Don't push his leg down. Put that in now. Orange needle.
Downside, if you like, with ketamine is it can be a bit unpredictable how patients react to it.
I know you're in a dream world right now, but just lie down for me.
Just lay yourself back.
I'm up.
Yeah. It's all good.
Where am I?
In Mackey's. Should we lie down and have some chicken nuggets then?
I need to go and get up.
Lie down.
As long as he's not disturbing
That is sharp.
That's to go enough. Well done, mate. Lie yourself back. So obviously it's an open fracture, that the chances are that the patient's going to be going to the operating theatre at some point, and we want to make the patient much more comfortable, but also we're trying to maximise the chances of a long-term good functioning ankle joint.
So you had a little bit of skin that was inside.
Yeah.
We're taking that off. You've got a little cast on here.
Yeah.
We're going to get an X-ray of here. Okay. Let's just cover you up a little bit. No worries. There we go.
Thomas as a baby, he was a lovely child, really easygoing, no trouble at all. With the boys in the early years, it was fun messing about. It was a nice, simple childhood upbringing for them. It was as he got older, if there was any trouble going on, he would be the one that would probably get caught.
Just one of them things. I don't know if he lost control, but more of it was as he came around the corner, the back end went. It's like new tarmac.
Tom is an absolute charmer. Everybody loves Tom. But Tom was mixed in with a group of people. Some were good, some weren't so good, and those people that would let Tom carry on drinking, and he would drink too much and then lose control. Watching Tom go through that, it has at times been painful, because you know what the right and wrong things are to do. They have to learn, and sometimes they have to take a fall before you pick them back up. It is hard being a parent. Every family has its faults, we have our faults, but at the same time, it's important that we make a stand. Picking those pieces up and trying to rebuild them is really hard.
The young lad, he can go around to X-ray for his fib, because he's going to need to go to theatre tonight for that.
Doctors have realigned Tom's ankle ahead of surgery after he broke it in a car crash.
Do you want some painkillers as well? Okay.
We've had moments, we've had our disagreements, and we've shouted at each other a lot, and that's how families go, but stability is important for Tom.
Yeah, he said so.
That's a key thing, making sure that he's got a stable home and a supportive family around him.
Yeah, fine. Why are you two here?
Oh, just to check your condition.
Oh, right. Got you.
He's a much better person now. He is so much more sensible and more grown up.
In the past, I was a bit of a nightmare, and I didn't know if so I didn't know if there's anything to do with that.
Are you a changed man?
Yeah. More young, but I was a nightmare.
But when Tom came to tell us that him and his partner were going to have a baby, I think we were a bit more in shock than probably anything. I didn't think he'd be that involved. I didn't think he was ready. That was my own belief.
Sorry to ask, would I be able to get a photo of my leg as well? My dad's asked.
You can request it.
Yeah, or if not, when they cut this off, I'll take one.
Okay, yeah.
Do that.
But actually, he's been really good. He is adorable. He's great with kids. He loves having Troy. He really has helped him focus on where he needs to go with his life. I am proud of Tom.
Go on, you're all right.
Well, he's got right bundle type morphology, ST depression laterally, and a first-degree block. It's an unhappy heart.
The cardiology team have arrived to decide the best course of treatment for Kai, following his cardiac arrest.
So the right heart is okay. I think, it's just an LV which is not doing anything at all. Whether that's post-arrest or whether that is primary LV dysfunction is very difficult to say. But there's nothing else obvious there. So I think we have to treat as a cardiomyopathy.
Cardiomyopathy is a primary problem with the structure and the function of the heart muscle. When you have a structurally abnormal heart like that, and you then exert it to stress of high intensity athletic activity, then it can precipitate abnormal heart rhythms and cardiac arrest.
Cardiology have been down to see, but that's difficult to read too much into it post-arrest. We're going to treat him as a cardiomyopathy-induced VT. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Matt. Bye.
So Craig, the guy who attended first, is here as well.
Okay, perfect.
The coaches who gave Kai CPR have arrived at the hospital.
Thank you so much for I owe you. Son, your coaches will be out. You can touch him. Just talk to him and...
Wake up, Kai.
They need the goal scorer back, come on.
Yeah.
They need you back. They're all here for you. They're going to be praying for you. All the boys are going to be praying for you. And then when you wake up, you can give them a big hug. I know it's hard seeing them like this, but so grateful for what you've done. Thank you. At first, Kai was really upset when he got released from Notts County, but then once he got into grassroots football, he realised that he was a lot happier because the pressure was taken off. Then he was in his element. That's okay. But it's a lot, innit?
Yeah.
You're just like, what's that for? What's that for? What's that beeping?
I'm glad it's beeping.
Well, that's it. That's what we want. We'll rather see all this than...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you. Thanks.
It's going to be fine. Thank you.
It's all right.
Honestly, if it wasn't for you guys...
No, it's...
So he's exercising and now he's arrested.
Correct. But his mum is outside. She's staying positive. I don't think there's much else to do here.
Kai is being taken to the critical care ward for around-the-clock monitoring and treatment.
In a major trauma centre, you really are exposed to some patients who've suffered some really devastating injuries. When you have that patient and their life is in your hands, as long as I can honestly say we as a team have done the best that we can for this patient, then I can live with that, whether the outcome is good or bad.
I think I was in a bit of shock in the hospital. I didn't quite realise how bad it was. My poor parents, I'm back with them. They're doing their best to put up with me. Yeah, they've really been the best support you could imagine. I don't think I'd be where I was now if it wasn't for my parents.
Yeah, whatever Tom does next, we will be there to support him.
Before I had a son, was out with the boys. I spent a lot of time down the pub and a lot of time out clubbing. As soon as a kid comes along, it all changes. And for the better, definitely. Troy, he's the absolute apple of my eye. He's brilliant. He's changed my life completely.
There is nothing that can prepare you for this at all. Sometimes I feel a bit blank. I don't know what to feel.
When I woke up, pretty much I couldn't move. I thought that I was gonna die until I saw my mum next to me and she looked at me and says, "You'll be okay."
I do think it's a miracle that Kai is still here. I think that him being young and so fit played a huge part in him recovering.
The surgeon came up to me and said, pretty much, if you play football, it's gonna risk your life. I think from that moment on, I pretty much realised that I don't care. I value life more than anything in the world. So if I have to give up football, if I have to give up a body part, if I have to give up anything to live, then I'm gonna do it.
When he came back to see us, that was just a really nice moment. Everyone gave him a hug. Yeah, that was really nice. That's when I actually started to feel, well, he can walk, he can talk, he's with his mum again. That was sort of a bit of closure.
I like to think that this ain't the end of me at all, and I'll go much further than I probably wanted to go in life.